In this video, we'll add GD&T text and symbols. After completing this step, you'll be able to add GD&T annotations and use text. In Fusion 360, we want to carry on with our blade guard assembly drawing. At this point, we've added our base view, we've added our section and detail view, and we've added some geometry and dimensions. Now we want to take a look at text and symbols. When we take a look at text, we can add a text note to the design, or we can add a note with a leader. Note that there are a couple different options inside here, and we want to make sure that we understand the differences between them. So first, let's go ahead and add text to this upper left-hand corner. I'm going to add a note that says Tumble Finish Design. This allows me to add the note and reposition it as needed, allowing anybody reading the drawing to note that after manufacture, they need to place the design in a tumbler. Another option we have is to add a leader note. For example, if we want to add a specific note to a specific point of the design, I'm going to go ahead and add it here, and I'm going to add a note that says break corner. So now somebody knows looking at it that they need to do some additional treatment after the design to make sure that we don't have a sharp edge. The other text note option that we have automatically creates a whole thread bend or leader note. So this means that if you've used the hole tool to create a threaded hole, that information can automatically be populated based on using this note type. You also have hole and thread notes and bend notes that can be used based on your designs. For our purposes, we're going to move on and take a look at some of the symbol options we have. These symbol options are part of a GD&T or geometric dimensioning and tolerancing scheme. First, let's take a look at surface texture. And just like with several of the things mentioned earlier, depending on which standard you chose for your drawing, the symbol is going to look a little different. I'm simply going to select an edge, and I'm going to place this note, and once I'm happy with its location, I'll hit enter on the keyboard. It brings up the surface texture, which allows me to set it up as a basic, material removal required, or material removal prohibited. In this case, I'm going to say prohibited on the bottom, and then I can determine the roughness max, the process, a sampling length, and some other values if needed. So for example, if the roughness max had to be extremely small, and the process was milling, and the sample length was over a certain specified distance, we could add these values to the surface texture note, and that way somebody manufacturing this part can know exactly what's needed. Some other symbols that we have access to are feature control frames and datum identifiers. We're not going to be taking a look at taper and slope or welding, but let's go ahead and add a datum identifier, and then let's talk about the feature control frames. If the datum referenced is going to be this bottom edge, we can place the datum reference A at that bottom edge. If the location of a feature is referencing A, we can use our feature control frame to help control it. For example, if we wanted to select this line and add our feature control frame, we have a top note, a bottom note, a geometric symbol, the first tolerancing, and we have datums. So for example, right now it's set to straightness, but if we wanted to base it off of position and it needed to be within a certain value, we could set it in reference to datum A. So at the very basic level, we can use this control frame to determine the location of the hole in reference to the bottom of the design. Now these datums are generally added based on a 1, 2, 3 scheme or an ABC, making sure that however this part is being manufactured knows exactly which references are critical and where to measure from when designing where to hold fixture and machine apart. For right now, however, let's go ahead and save the design before moving on.